Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to go ahead and do my fall book haul, and I actually don't have too many books to talk about with you guys today. I have been trying really hard not to buy that many books because I already have too many books that I need to be reading, so I'm trying to really limit the books that I am buying. But I've kind of split it up between some new releases that I went ahead and got, and then just some random books that I have been wanting that I picked up. So we'll go ahead and start with some of the newer releases. And with the new releases, some of these have been released within the last month or so, and then a couple of these I think have been released I want to say maybe earlier this summer. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first one I want to talk about is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And I want to say this was released at the beginning of September. And I have only read one book by Stephen Graham Jones, and that was The Night of the Mannequins. And that was a short novella, which I really loved. And I read that at the beginning of this year. And I have another book by him that I haven't read, but I picked this up because it sounded interesting. I'm not even really too sure about what this is about. I know that it's about some girl that is in love with like the 80s horror movies, and I love anything that has to do with horror movies, so that's what intrigued me. I haven't really heard too many people say anything about this, and the one review that I've seen somebody do so far, they didn't really like it. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to think about this, but this is actually one of the books that I plan on reading in the month of October. So be on the lookout for a review specifically for this one. So the next book that I have is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. And this is the third book in a Good Girls Guide to Murder trilogy. And I actually really enjoyed the first two books in this series. And if you don't know, this is just basically about this high school student by the name of Pip, who is just going around solving crimes in her area. And this just came out last week, and I really enjoyed it. The first book I read physically, and then the second book I listened to on audio, and I would highly recommend listening to these on audio because a lot of this book is told in like interview formats and like journal entries. Ooh, this one even has like pictures in it. So I'm like really excited to get to this and finish out the series, and I plan on doing a series review as soon as I get done with this. I actually have the audio book on hold through my library, so as soon as I get to that, I will be doing a review on this one as well. And I'm really excited about this, so I can't wait to see how the author decides to wrap up the series. So excited about this one. The next one that I want to talk about is All's Well by Mona Awad. And I haven't read anything by this author. I actually have another book of hers that is called, I think it's on my shelf over there. I think she's the one that wrote Bunny, I think, which is another one. But from what I'm told, her books are kind of weird and not necessarily for everybody. But I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and all I know is about this woman who is experiencing a lot of chronic pain, and she's also like a theater director, and she's trying to put on a Shakespeare play. So we're kind of like following around her as she's dealing with her chronic pain while also trying to put on this play. That's all that I know about it. I did hear Erin over at her channel is Booked and Busy say that if you are somebody that deals with a lot of chronic pain, that you might want to be cautious when reading this. So that kind of has me a little intrigued. So I plan on also getting to this one really soon. And I'm also trying to read her other book, Bunny, as well. So we'll see what I think about this. So then the next book I have is The Plot by Jean Han Korlowitz. Hopefully I said that correctly. And I don't really know too much about this besides this is about this professor who used to be a writer, and at one point they were a famous writer, and one of their students, I think, had a really great idea for a new book. That student mysteriously dies, and this teacher ends up taking that student's book idea and turning it into a actual book and publishing it. And then this teacher ends up getting like this anonymous note or letter with someone saying that they know that they stole this particular student's idea, and the story, I guess, takes off from there. I've heard really good things about this. This is actually pretty short. So I'm excited to read this. Gabby over from Gabby Reads really raved about this. So if she liked it, I pretty much have read a lot of the things that she really enjoyed, and I have liked them. So I'm pretty sure that I will like this. Not really sure when I will get to this one, but I'm thinking that this is something that I am going to like as well. And then the last new release that I got is When Justice Sleeps by Stacy Abrams. And I honestly don't really know anything about this one. I literally just got this because it is by Stacy Abrams. All I know is that it has something to do with something at the courthouse. That is literally all that I know. Again, this is one of the ones that I have heard good things about, and not only did I get it because it was by Stacey Abrams, I also got it because I did hear good things about it. That's why I didn't get it right away. I just got this one, but I am excited to get to this. Again, it's one of those ones, not sure when I will read it, but I'm hoping that I will enjoy it once I get to it. Now, these next few books, again, like I said, these aren't new releases, but these are just books that I have been wanting for a while and finally got around to purchasing them. So we will go ahead and get into those. So the first one that I want to talk about is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And I think this one was really popular last year on BookTube, and I'm just now getting around to it. But I think this one has something to do with this wedding party on a remote island, and somebody ends up murdered, and we're just trying to figure out who did it, basically. And I heard nothing about good things, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one. So the next one that I have is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. And this is the same author that wrote Razorblade Tears, which I absolutely loved. And I did a spoiler-free review, which I will link down below. And since I love that one, I had told myself that I plan on reading that author's backlist. And I actually saw this at Barnes & Noble's on one of their tables. So I went ahead and picked this one up. And I tried to pick up another one of this author's books, and I cannot remember the name of that book, but they didn't have any in stock. So whenever I see it in stock again, I'm going to go ahead and order it. But this one, all I know is it has something to do with someone that used to be a getaway driver, and they tried to get out of the game, basically, and something happens and someone needs their help again. So now they have to be a getaway driver again. So I just have a feeling that since I loved Razorblade Tears, I will probably really enjoy this one. So I had to pick this one up, and I'm pretty sure that this is one of the ones that I will get to sooner rather than later. This next one that I picked up is called Lexicon by Max Berry. And to be honest, the only reason why I picked this up is because of Tori over at Tori Morrow, I think is her channel's name. And this is one of her, I think, all-time favorite books. And she raves about this book, and the way she sold this book, when I saw this at Barnes & Noble's, I had to go pick this up. And I really enjoy this cover. I think the cover is beautiful. And if you can't tell, that's like an eye on the cover. And in the middle of the eye, it says, "Words are weapons." And the eye is made out of like a whole bunch of words. And you probably can't see that. But, and all I know is it's about these kids, I think, that gets recruited into like this really elite school, and somehow they use words as weapons. Obviously, that's why it says words are weapons, and that's all that I know. And even the back doesn't really give that much about what's going on. And again, this is like one of those books I think I'll get to sooner rather than later. And yeah, that's all that I know. And I hope, again, this is one of the ones that I really enjoy. The next one that I am going to talk about is Piranesi. I think that's how you say it. Piranesi by Susanna Clark. And this came out last year, but the paperback was just released, and I really like the paperback. That's why I kind of waited for the paperback. I love the colors. But I have never read anything by this author, but I think she's the one that wrote that really thick book called something and Mr. Norrell. Now I'm blanking on the name of that book. I'll put it on the screen down below. But she's the one that wrote that one. But I've heard people say they enjoyed this book, but it's a weird book. And it's something about this man that's like in this house, and like it's a weird type of house, and the rooms are weird, and like the story is told through like journal entries, and it's just a strange short little book. So I'm all for, as soon as somebody tells me that a story is just strange, I'm hooked. And even when you like flip through it, you can just tell that it's written weird. So I'm all for this. So I'm actually really excited about this. So I can't wait to get to this one. And then the next one that I have is Middle Game by Seanan Mcguire. Now this one I have heard a lot of mixed things about, so I have no idea if I'm gonna like this. I'm kind of nervous that I'm not gonna like it, and this is a huge chunky book. So I have read a couple of things by Seanan Mcguire. Right now I am in the middle of her Wayward Children's series, and I like those books. They're not my favorite, but I like them enough to keep going. And I read something else because she goes by Seanan Mcguire and Mira Grant, and I read another one of her books under her Mira Grant name. And so I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this, but some of the people that I follow who reviews that I trust and who I usually have the same kind of taste that they do actually say that they like this. So I'm hoping that I do, and I really don't understand what this is about. It's something about some twins by the name of Roger and Dodger. Those names are just weird, but they have different like abilities, and they're not really human. And then the people that created them are trying to make them into gods, maybe, or the person that made them is trying to become a god because of them. Something, I don't know, but we'll see if I like this. I hope that I do. I think a sequel to this is coming out, and then I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, a book that is mentioned in this book was actually published recently, I think. So we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence about this one, so we'll see where I'm going to fall. So then the last one that I have is called Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member by Sanjika Shakur, aka Monster Cody Scott. So I ended up getting sent this by my dad because I told him that I was trying to get into reading more nonfiction, and he told me that this was something that he really enjoyed. And he said this is about this author Sanjika Shakur, who used to be out in LA, and he was a part of the Crips, and he went to prison, and I think while he was in prison he ended up writing this book. And since my dad really enjoyed it, my dad is a huge reader, I told him that I was interested in reading it. He ended up sending it to me, so I plan on getting to this really soon. I am actually in the middle of another nonfiction book, so once I get done with that one, I am going to immediately pick this one up, and I am really interested in this. So I cannot wait to get this one started. And my dad actually said he believes that once I start it, I am not going to be able to put it down. So we will see if that is going to be true. So that is actually all of the books that I have for you guys today. I don't really plan. Okay, I was about to tell y'all a lie. I actually have some pre-orders, and those should be coming in like November-ish, because there are a few books, and I don't usually order I don't do a lot of pre-ordering, but the way books have been coming out and the way everything has been shipping lately, I have been going more of the pre-order route. So I have pre-ordered a few books, not too many, but I do have some of those coming later on in the year. I did order my first Illumicrate box, so I am excited about that. So who knows when that's coming. So we shall see, but I don't really plan on buying too many other books for the rest of the year. I already have too many other things to get through. And if you guys are interested in any of the books that I have talked about or mentioned, I will definitely leave links down in my description bar for you guys to check out. These are affiliate links, so I will get a small commission if you do decide to purchase any. But I do leave links for any books that I talk about in my description bar for any of my videos. And I will also leave a link to my review on Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby if you guys are interested, down in my description bar below. But that is all that I have for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.